Today we're heading further east in Etosha National Park towards Etosha Pan itself. We'll drop in on Okaukuajo, which is one of the accommodation and admin hubs in the park, and then we'll be heading out of the park to Etosha Camp private campground for the night. It's 177 kilometres, which includes all the loops and detours to the waterholes. I'm keen to see if we can find a rhino, as Angela hasn't seen one yet, but we know the chances are slim. Plus, who knows what else? We still haven't seen a leopard, any cheetahs or hyena for that matter. Today we'll be getting our first sight of Etosha Pan itself. Before we get underway, I'd just like to point out that the places Halili and Namutomi you can see on the map are other campsites / park offices within the Etosha National Park. The morning dawn's bright and sunny, what else? And we grab some breakfast and head off. The scenery is pretty flat and featureless, with hills off in the distance. I'm not going to go waterhole by waterhole in the video, but there's a fair bit of activity this morning.
He's a lot bigger than the other two.
He's a big lad. You have to have some sympathy for giraffes when they drink. It looks to be such an effort. Here goes the giraffe.
I don't know why he doesn't go to the tank and he doesn't have to go down so far.
Yeah. We haven't figured that out yet. One notable feature of this part of the park is that it's not advised to stop by the side of the road for a pee and a snack. You could wind up being the snack. There are these high security toilet compounds with picnic tables, etc. where you can have a break. The weaver birds love them. This is one of the stops on the way to Okaukuajo. Toilet, picnic benches and elephant, rhino and lion proof fence with a big gate. Yeah, they're not kidding you cannot stop and get out of your car. Yeah, it's not allowed and it's not a good idea. The occasional tree dots the plain, trimmed by a giraffe or maybe sheep with long ladders. More weaver bird nests. This one where we had our standard morning tea of stony ginger beer and Simba crisps. Mrs. Ball's chutney flavoured ones are the best. We finally arrive at the pan and one of the freshwater springs. It's a popular spot. That's the Etosha salt pan in the background. We stop at Okaukuajo for a look around and some lunch. This is the main parks office, campground and lodge in the park. There's a small shop here too. The tower is the remains of an old German fort built in 1901. Namibia used to be a German colony. After a short mosey around where we see basically nothing, we head to the night's camp at Etosha Camp. This is outside the park, and given the surrounding landscape, it's almost shockingly green. It's just like a caravan park in southern Australia. As I'm filming, I'm able to catch Angela deftly exiting the rooftop tent. We're getting pretty good at this now. We head up to the bar at reception. It's pretty touristy but nice. There were some interesting chairs here made out of old tyres. Angela thought I took a picture of them, and I thought Angela took a picture of them, so we've got no pictures of them. There was going to be some live music later, so the band was set up and the roadie was tuning up. Note the oil can guitar next to him. It sounded great. At 3 a.m. it's pitch dark and we're both awake. We can hear lions roaring off in the distance. I fumble around for my phone in the dark and try recording it, but it doesn't come out. Dang. We settle back to sleep a bit giggly because the inner caveman is going, WTF, but we know they can't get into where we are. That's another bucket list item crossed off for me. Etosha Day 3. Etosha Camp to Onguma Lodge, which is 285 kilometres including all the loops. 4th June 2024. Today we're continuing across Etosha to the eastern gate. We have a choice of sticking to the edge of the pan or going more south away from the pan and through tracks not so many people will travel on. This will take us by Halili, which I want to check out. I'm hoping that we're more likely to see a rhino going that way. Who knows? We call back via Okaukuajo to check the visitors register for any sightings. There's an entry for yesterday with a cheetah and cubs between Halili and Namutomi. We'll be going that way, so we'll keep our eyes peeled. There's this group of mongoose on the lawn looking for insects. Well, I think they're mongoose, not meerkats. Don't look at me, I'm not from around here. Back to the artificial water holes, some of which are quite small. You can see the solar pump on the rise behind the water hole here. These are greater kudu. We've seen them before, but this male is magnificent. At places we call in on the freshwater springs along the edge of the pan, there is normally somebody here. You don't know what you'll get. At least the giraffe are easy to spot. At other places, not so much. The animals seem to move through in waves. If there's nothing there when you turn up, it's wise to wait a while, but nothing can persist for hours. Some oryx out on the pan. Why? I have no idea, just being photogenic, I suppose. At some waterholes there's some pretty intense social interaction going on. This young male impala on the left was getting too close to the impala on the right's group of females. Man sort of thing. The buck on the left has been backed up about 200 metres. He wants to turn and run, but he knows if he does he'll probably get a set of horns up the bum. It looks like it's far enough. Push that further. Here we go, right through the elephant poo. We also see some of the impala bucks doing this. I have no idea what they're doing.
I don't know what this black-faced impala is doing.
We come across this very large, very happy bull elephant, covered in mud and dust and strolling off to his afternoon appointments. We gave him plenty of room.
Not going to try and drive past until he's well clear of the road.
A hornbill. Coming into Namutomi, there are some cars stopped by the side of the road. This is usually a sign of something interesting. It is. It's a leopard. It's hard to see through the scrub, but then it crosses the road right in front of us. The autofocus on the camera falls in love with the dust on the windscreen and will not focus on anything else. We wind up with a 3-second clip of blurry nothingness. Gee, I love technology. But we saw it. It was there. I'm devastated that the camera wouldn't play and all we have are these obscured stills. Oh well, we saw it. Let me tell you the funny story about Onguma Lodge. Our custom guidebook prepared by Explore Namibia says to exit the eastern Etosha Gate and turn immediately left to the entrance of Onguma Lodge. So we exit the Etosha Gate and drive down a bit and we can't find anything. After about 10 kilometres, we've passed some other lodges, but not Onguma, so we go back to the Etosha Gate and try to work out what we've done wrong. It turns out that immediate left actually means immediate left. The Onguma Gate's right there in front of us on the fence of the national park. We sheepishly drive over and the security guy has been watching us all the time. Bet that's not the first time he's seen that. He calls ahead to the lodge to let them know we're on our way, as it's about 10 kilometres from the gate to the lodge. The road runs along the fence to the national park, then veers right to the lodge. That straight line on the left of this map is the park fence. Our cabin is in those trees just below and to the left of the waterhole. The fence you can see is for the lodge compound. We're actually outside the compound at this lodge, not in it. Comforting given that there are lions here. Interior is nice. Angela's waiting by the door to see if I get eaten by something. Good content for Facebook.
This is the view from the front of our room. That's the waterhole there. And there's a kudu there. Notice no fence. Some more kudu there coming down to the waterhole. Beautiful Namibian sunset again. Not as red as last night. And there's some springbok there. And the guy who showed us our room and everything, Bernard, assured us that lions do not bother to come here, but after dinner you can get somebody to walk you to your room.
Some of the locals are headed for the waterhole, so we decide to go down as well. As usual, it's pretty nice. There's a good view over the waterhole and a giraffe decides to turn up. You get a good view of it from the restaurant as well. It's decision time as we peruse the menu, and after dinner we stroll back to our cabin, remembering to lock the gate. I think I dreamt about inventing a camera that focuses on what you want, not on what it feels like. But we did see a leopard, really.